Okay, here we have question 3, keys and scales. Okay, question 3.1 and 3.2 are testing whether we know what the key signatures are and where to draw them. Okay, so wait now, let's take a look at question 3.1 over here. Tick one box to show the correctly written key signature of A major. Alright, so the keyword is A major. Alright, so if we need help to try and remember what kind of key signatures there are, always think of your circle of fifth or your circle of fourth. Okay, can? And then step number 2, remember when it comes to key signature, okay, we always use the F, A, C, E to help us. Okay? And the last thing that you have to be careful is look at the clef. Okay, this is all in treble clef. Do you see? And question 3.2, what happens for question 3.2? They are all in the bass clef. Okay? So this clef very important. Why? Because different clef will have different placement of the FACE. So you need to know where your FACE starts. Okay, so that's a big hint. I hope you get this question correct. Let's move on. Question 3.3. Oh, sorry, one big thing. 3.3. Tick 3 boxes to show which notes need an accidental to create a melody in the key of D major. Okay, so what are the keywords over here? First keyword, 3 boxes, so you have to identify 3, okay? And the next keyword is key of D major, okay? This is very important. Why? Because D major, what must you think of? What kind of key signature does D major have? Okay, so thinking step number 1. Okay, key, okay, signature that belongs to D major. Alright, thinking step number 2. You have to read the notes. And where you are reading the notes, what happens? Please be very mindful and check if your notes are in the treble clef or bass clef. Okay, in this melody, you are given the treble clef. Okay, so please be very careful when reading your notes. Next, let's move on. Question 3.4. Circle the correct key of each of these 2 melodies. Okay, so over here, the thinking step for this kind of question is first, always think of the major first. Settle the major first. Because they are the ones that you can easily recall and think of the key signature. Alright? Then after that, you can think of the minor. Okay, how do you know what's the correct key? What do you have to look at? Of course, is these notes that have accidental. So go and think what kind of sharps of that they are, right? And they, if you want, you can write out, whatever sharp it is, so it helps you to remember. Okay, final thing that you should be careful is the clef. This is bass clef and this is treble clef. So read all your notes very carefully in the correct clef. Okay, let's move on. 3.5. Circle true or false for this question, for this statement. Okay, so you are supposed to look at this note over here, okay, and then see if this is the 5th degree of the scale of E flat major, true or false. So the next keyword is 5th and E flat major. Okay, very important keyword. Alright, when it comes to degree of the scale, I'm sure everybody know what scale is, right? So what is your thinking step? You will know that E flat major starts with E flat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you end with E flat. Okay, so you are supposed to write out all the letters. Okay, so that's thinking step number 1. Thinking step number 2. After you have written out the letters, please think of the key signatures too. Okay, if this is for grade 2, sometimes you might be tested on a minor key. For the minor key, you even have to think about the 7th note, right? So for major key, we think of key signature. For minor, we think about both key signature and 7th note. So please check if your notes are affected by any sharp, flat, or natural. Okay, and then you go and see the 5th degree of the scale. That means this note. Is it the same as the one that is given over here? Okay. Question 3.6. Tick one box to show the correctly written scale of E flat major descending. Alright, keyword number 1 is, you just have to tick one box. Alright, and E flat major is important. And also very important is this word, descending. Okay? So, wait. First thing first, this question. The first thinking step that you need to apply is, first, check whether the scale is descending or not. Okay? Versus ascending. Oops. Ascending. Alright. So, second thinking step, you have to know that E flat major must start or end with the note E flat. And third thinking step, what are the other key signatures for E flat major? So which other notes, okay, are affected by the key signatures? Okay, so key signatures, we only have sharps and flats. So for E flat major, obviously we are thinking of the flats. Okay, as usual, if you cannot think of what E flat major has, always think of remember, it's the circle of 5th and the circle of 4th to help you recall what kind of flats or what kind of sharps you need. Okay, let's move on. Question 3.7. Tick 2 boxes to show the 2 pairs of notes in this scale which are a semitone apart. Okay, so the keyword here is 2 boxes. Okay, and you have to identify 2 pairs of notes and they form a semitone. So these are the keywords. Okay, so for this question, first you have to read the notes. Okay, check if your notes are affected by any sharp, flat, or natural. Second, you have to draw your piano table. Okay, remember it consists of 11 lines. And then 2 black key, leave a line, and 3 black key, leave a line, right? So draw out your piano table. Okay, and semitone means it's moving one stroke. Okay, so you have to count, like you read these 2 notes, what these 2 notes are, and then you check between, from the first note to the second note, how many semitones. Okay, semitone is meaning it's moving one stroke. One. Oh, how come my one looks so ugly here? Okay, one stroke. Next, 3.8. Cross the 2 incorrect notes in the following scale. So you are supposed to pick up 2 notes that are incorrect. Now, why are the notes incorrect? It's most probably because it does not have the required sharp flats. Okay, so the first thinking step will be, okay, identify what key are you dealing with in this place is A harmonic minor. Okay, so the key is A harmonic minor, and then you know that for minor, what happens? You need to always find the, give you clue, why? Because this thing over here will give you the key signature. Okay, you might need to draw the piano table over here, huh? Can you draw a longer one? Okay, I'm just showing you a small little piano table here so that it reminds you, oh, I need to draw a piano table to find this thing called the ma. Why? Because it will give me the key signature. And also to remember that for minor scale, that is step number 2, that you have to raise somebody. Raise which note? Aha, you go and think about it, okay? So I hope you can find the 2 incorrect notes. Remember, it's 2. You have to find 2 notes. Next, question 3.9. Tick 1 box for X and 1 box for Y to show which notes are needed to complete the scale of D major. So the keyword is D major. Okay, 1 at X and 1 at Y over here. So what's the thinking step? Obviously, we have to think of the key signatures. And how to think of the key signatures? Use your circle of 4th or circle of 5th to help you. Okay. And then after that, read the notes carefully. And when you're reading the notes, you have to check whether are you in the treble or bass clef. Yeah? Okay, so this one is, be very careful, this clef is over here. Do you see? Alright, and then go and read your notes carefully, one at a time, and then you should be able to answer